Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Selenium Tech Automation. Our today agenda is about TestNG concept. Okay, so in that, what is TestNG and how to configure TestNG in Eclipse, and what are the features of TestNG, and also what are the annotations we are going to use in our TestNG concept. At the same time, what is the programmatical hierarchy of TestNG annotations, and how to skip a test method from the execution, what are the different assertions we have in TestNG, and how to execute scripts at suite level with a concept of TestNG.xml file, and how to execute scripts in sequentially and parallelly. And also we are going to discuss about how to define the parameters in TestNG.xml file. Okay, here I am showing with the help of creating a Maven project and how we will add the Maven dependencies, TestNG dependencies into our Maven pom.xml file. So you can consider this video as part 1 video. So in our upcoming video, that is part 2, where I will cover the complete end to end flow. Okay, from taking one application, so where I am adding some TestNG library, so then I am creating some pages. So from that pages, how we are going to execute with the help of TestNG concept, and also how we can generate the reports as well, that is extent reports or any kind of reports, that is Allure report or TestNG reports, any report it will be. I am going to upload one more video. So if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and also please like this video. Please don't forget to watch this video till the end. So this video will tells you all about the basic concepts before going to work on any project along with the TestNG framework. Okay, so please drop a like for this video, guys. Okay, so our first agenda here is what is TestNG. So here TestNG is a testing framework which is inspired from the JUnit, which is provided many powerful features for executing the Java program units. And also this TestNG is a modified version of JUnit. Okay, what is TestNG? TestNG is a testing framework inspired from the JUnit, providing many powerful features for executing the Java program units. At the same time, here TestNG means next generation. TestNG is the modified version of JUnit. Okay, that is called as TestNG. So now we will discuss about how to configure TestNG in Eclipse. Okay, if you are configuring this TestNG in your Eclipse for the first time, means just go to help tab and go to Eclipse marketplace. Here you can see one search option, directly search for TestNG. It will tell you if it is already installed, it will show you like it will installed already, it is already installed. If it is not installed, means it will give you one TestNG option here to install. Okay, you can proceed accordingly. And also if you are doing it first time, we can have one more way, that is install new software. You can go. Okay, here you need to add these two URLs what I am providing here, right? So first you can search with this particular URL. So how we can search? Just go open your Eclipse and click on add, provide any name here, that is TestNG. Okay, TestNG you can mention here and paste this particular URL. Okay, paste this first URL. If it is also not working, then try with the second URL and click on the add button. Okay, and click on add button. Let me show you till here. Okay, for me it will give you some error. If you are also getting the same error, click on add. Okay, it is giving some error, right? So now if that is the case, open this drop down. Here you can select any one of the option which will allow you to download the TestNG library into your Eclipse. Okay, so once that is done, right click on your project. If you created any project, means right click on your project, go to build path. From that configure build path option, you can see one option called as add library. Okay, click on that add library, then automatically your TestNG library will add it to your current project. But in this video I am showing with the help of Maven project, so that's why I am not able to show you how we can add that TestNG library, but I mentioned the steps. After successfully installing your TestNG into your Eclipse means, go and right click on your project, go to build path. From that build path you will get one option, configuring build path. Click on that configuring build path, then it will give you one option right side, that is add library option. So click on that add library, it will display you, because you have already installed your TestNG in your Eclipse. If it is not installed means it is not going to show you. Okay, once if it is properly installed, then only you will get an option to add this TestNG library into your current project. In the same way, you can right click and go to build path, configure build path, add external jars. If you want to add Apache Py jar file, as well as Selenium jar file, as well as extend reports, any kind of reports if you want, you can directly add it from the add external jars. Okay, now let me create. Okay, before that I need to discuss about what are the TestNG features which are offered by the TestNG. Okay, TestNG provided a set of built-in annotations like @test annotation, @before annotation, @after method annotation, @after class annotation, @before class annotation, @before test annotation, @after test annotation, @after suit annotation, @before suit annotation. I will explain you each and every annotation in a detailed way. This is a feature of TestNG. TestNG provided a set of built-in annotations such as whatever we discussed so far to control the test execution order. With the help of these TestNG annotations, it will be helpful for us to control the test execution order. At the same time, TestNG provided a set of built-in assertions. TestNG provided a set of built-in assertions. Here, assertions means validation, which will compare the expected behavior with the actual behavior, then produces the appropriate test results in the form of pass or fail. Okay, in the form of pass or fail. And also TestNG will produce the test results in different formats after the execution of our test cases. Okay, TestNG produces test results. Okay, TestNG provided test results in the different formats after executing the test cases. Okay, different formats means it is not required to do any extra code. Okay, it is not required to make any extra code to generate the test results in different formats. By default we have one feature where it will print you one TestNG report. Okay, that is in the format of .html. At the same time, TestNG providing one annotation that is called as @data provider annotation, which can be used for implementing the data driven test cases. So where we are not going to use one for loop. Okay, where we are not going to use any for loop to automate the data driven test cases. TestNG provided @data provider annotation to automate the data driven test cases, where we are not going to use any for loops to automate this data driven test cases scenarios. Okay, at the same time, with the help of TestNG, we can merge all the test cases. We can merge multiple test cases into a test suite with the concept of TestNG.xml file, so that we can run all our scripts at suite level. And also this test suite can be executed either in a sequential way or either in a parallel way. And also there is one important interview question: why we need TestNG in Selenium? Okay, in Selenium project implementation, we need the features what we have discussed so far. We need all these features. Okay, we need all these features, right, for project implementation. In our Selenium we don't have all these features, so that is the reason why we are using TestNG framework in our Selenium. Why we need TestNG in Selenium means, in Selenium project implementation we need the listed features. Whatever we discussed so far, we need the listed features. In Selenium we don't have all these features, so that's the reason why we are using this TestNG as our concept. Okay, and what are the different TestNG annotations? Okay, what are the different TestNG annotations? TestNG provided the annotations which are used. Okay, TestNG provided the annotations which are used to control the test execution order, that is preconditions and post conditions for test execution can be configured by using of TestNG annotations. Okay, TestNG provided some set of built-in annotations which are used to control the program execution order or test execution order. So where we have some preconditions as well as some preconditions for test case execution. Okay, that can be configured with the help of these TestNG annotations. Okay, so as I mentioned, what is this @test method will do here. Okay, the methods which are marked with @test are considered for the testing, and TestNG produces results only for the @test methods only. Okay, what is @test annotation here? The methods which are marked with the @test annotation which will be considered for testing, and TestNG produces appropriate results only for the methods which are marked with the @test annotation. Okay, if a test method executed successfully without throwing any error or exception, TestNG produces results as pass. If any error occurred while executing test method, TestNG produces results as fail. Okay, so then what is our next annotation here? That is @before method. What is this @before method will do? Means before executing the test method present inside the class, this @before method is going to be execute first. Okay, what is @before method here? A method configured with @before method annotation will be executed once before executing the test method which is marked with the @test annotation which is present inside our class. In the same way, what is @after method? A method which is configured with @after method will be executed once after executing each test method present in the class. Okay, what is @before class? The method marked with @before class will be executed once before executing a TestNG class. Okay, the method marked with @before class will be executed once before executing a TestNG class. Then what is our next annotation? That is called as @after class. The method marked with @after class annotation will be executed once after executing a TestNG class. Okay, after executing a TestNG class. Then what is our next annotation here? What is @before test? @before test annotation. Okay, the method marked with @before test annotation will be executed once before executing each test case present in the suite. Okay, what is @after test annotation here? The method which is marked with @after test annotation will be executed once after executing each test case present in the suite. Okay, what is after test annotation? The method which is marked with the after test annotation will be executed once after executing each test case present inside our suite. Okay, next, what is before suite annotation? The method which is marked with @before suite will be executed once before executing the all the test cases present inside the test suite. Okay, so then what is our next annotation? @after suite. The method which is marked with @after suite will be executed once after executing all the test cases present inside our test suite. Okay, so then we will discuss about how to skip test methods from the execution, and also how we can skip a method from execution by adding a skip exception. Then what are the different assertions we have in our TestNG concept, and then how we can create a test suite. We will see all these. Okay, we will see all these now. First, let me go back to my Eclipse and let me create one Maven project here. For that, file, new, and Java project. File, new project. Okay, it will directly take you Java project instead of Maven project. If I select Java project, okay, file, go to new, file, new, okay, new, and click on project. So here I am creating one Maven project. Here you can see Maven. Under that Maven project, select Maven project, click on next. Then use a default workspace location. okay, and create a simple project and provide here the group ID as TestNG tutorials, and I am providing the same for artifact ID as well, tutorials, okay, and click on finish. It is already exist, it is telling TestNG concept. I will create, we will see TestNG concept, okay. So it will create one project now, that is TestNG concept. So now, as I discussed, how we can add our TestNG dependency into our project, okay. So how we can do means, just open your this one, go to Maven repository, and click on Maven repository. So here you can find out like TestNG, you can type TestNG directly. So means you can find here TestNG, org.testng. So this is the one what we are looking currently, right? So click on this TestNG, and so once if you click on TestNG, it will give you the versions which are available inside our Maven repository. So why we are downloading it means, it is not required to do every time, okay. For example, if you are working with some build number called 3.0, and again you are getting one more new build, that is 3.1. so during the time it is not required to go and change every time when the new build is coming. Means the Selenium jar files or TestNG jar files or any kind of jar files like Apache Poi or some extent report jar files, so it is not required to go back and change every time. For example, if you can say there are 4 members are working in a project, so where these 4 members are using different versions on their projects, okay, sorry, on their eclipses. So during that time, if you are using Maven project means, it is not required to change each and every time for each and every person whenever the jar file got updated, the version. So during that time we can use this you can use this Maven dependency concept, so where it is not required to change every time the dependency files, okay. So that's the reason why we are using here dependency files. So just open the TestNG, and you can see here you can find the lots of versions of TestNG, okay. So what I am selecting here, I am selecting any one of the version, okay, any one of the version. I am selecting here 6.8 for example, click on the 6.8, okay. So it will give you the dependency tag file here, it will give you the dependency tag file. Just copy this dependency file, and where we can paste this dependency file means, open your TestNG concept project. Here you can see one pom.xml file, it is defaultly created by the Maven project, okay. So here I am going to create one tag that is called as dependencies, okay, that is called as dependencies, okay, dependencies. Inside this dependencies tag I am adding my copied TestNG dependency. Once if we click on OK, control save, control S, it will automatically downloading all the dependency files from Maven repository to your local repository. That is, local repository means there is a folder will be created, that folder name is called as .empty folder. If you want, you can go to your users, programs, program files. Inside your program files it will save all your downloaded dependency jar files, okay. Let me go to my this PC, go to my C, users, okay, users, and then go to Lenovo. In my case here you can see .m2 folder, okay. In this particular folder all these dependency files what we have downloaded, it will come and store in this particular .m2 folder under that repository folder, okay. Here you can see org is folder is there. Inside this org you can find a TestNG folder here, okay. Inside this org folder you can find one TestNG folder here. You can see inside this TestNG folder all our jar files got located. You can see here 25/9/2022. Today I have downloaded one dependency file that is called as TestNG. It will come and download in this particular folder that is called as .m2. This is the central heart of our local machine. whatever the dependencies you are downloading from central repository to your local repository, all the files will get downloaded inside this .m2 folder only. So that's why this is the main part of our Maven project. Okay, if you delete this particular file from here, then you will get definitely some errors saying that TestNG library not found or TestNG library please import. Such kind of errors you will find if you delete. So in the same way, I will add my Selenium jar file here as well. So, and also if you want jar file, you can see one option here. Okay, you can find one more option here, that is TestNG, right? Okay, it is a library file. I will show you for Selenium as well. Here you can see there is one more jar option is there. If you are not working with Maven project, means you can directly come to Maven repository and you can click on this jar. Okay, it will automatically download you. Okay, whatever the jar file you are looking for. So now I am not downloading because I have already added my TestNG. So now I want Selenium. Okay, Selenium I want, right? So here you can see Selenium Java. Just click on this one. You can find all the versions. Okay, here I am using 4.1.1 Selenium dependency file. And also if you want to download jar file, so how we can download? Just directly click on this jar. So it will automatically download the jar files in your machine. You can see here, go to downloads. Okay, here you can see our jar file got located. If you want, you can directly copy and you can go to your right click on your project. If you are not using Maven project, right click on your project and then select build path, then configure build path, then click on add external jars, then you can select this jar file, so that your Selenium jar file will be added to your project if that is a non-Maven project. If it is Maven project, we must and should add one dependency tag file for Selenium version, right? So here you can see I am using 4.1.1, so that's the reason why I am taking this dependency here. So now go to your pom.xml file. It will automatically download now, building 98%, you can see here, then it got downloaded. So now what I need to do, I am going to create a class. Okay, create a class, so where I am going to show you the annotation hierarchy. So whatever the annotations we have discussed so far, I am going to show you with an example of these, all these annotations, how the hierarchy we have to follow if you are using TestNG annotations means. Okay, for that let me create one class here, or else I will create one package here. So the naming convention should be com.testng.basics. okay, com.testng.basics. it is the naming conventions you have to follow if you are using Maven project. Means com dot, what is your project name and why we are using this class here, we need to mention. Okay, that is our package name. Okay, I have created one package here. Inside this package I am going to create one new class that is called as, what I will mention here, that is test annotations hierarchy. Okay, hierarchy, and it is not accepting the public static void main method because we are executing our programs with the help of TestNG, right? So that's why I'm not selecting this public static void main method here. Then click on finish here. Okay, click on finish. Now our actual class got created here. So now as I mentioned, I am going to show you the test annotations hierarchy here. So for that, what I need to do first, okay, first what I will do, I want to launch my, okay, I want to launch my application, right? I want to launch my application. For that, what I have to do first, that is at the rate before class. Okay, first if I want to launch my application, means at the rate before, why, what happened? Okay, why, what happened? So for that, first let me create method here, that is public void. Okay, first what I will do, I will create all the methods. Okay, for example, I want to send an email. Okay, so for that, send email. Okay, send email is my method name. Okay, send email my method name. So for this send email, I am going to mention one annotation that is called as @test. What add TestNG library. Okay, one second guys, import TestNG annotations. Okay, so now our TestNG got added successfully here. So first I will tell you the sequence. Okay, so what as I mentioned here, the sequence of, okay, the sequence of TestNG annotations, right? So first, every time what we will do here, we have to initialize our WebDriver first, right? So we have to initialize our WebDriver. So what I will do, I will add one annotation. Before launching my application, I need to launch my WebDriver, right? So for that, let me create one annotation that is called as before shoot. Okay, before shoot, before going to launch my application or browser, first I need to launch my WebDriver, right? First I need to initialize my browser, right? So for that reason, I am going to take one public void, okay, public void initialize, okay, initialize browser, initialize browser. This is my method, because before going to launch my application, before going to log into my Gmail application, before going to send any email from the Gmail, means first thing what I have to do, I need to initialize the browser. So before going to perform remaining actions, first I need to launch my browser. So when we will launch at the suite level only, before suite only I am going to launch my browser, right? Before going to perform any action such as launching URL, log into my application, sending email. So first I need to initialize my WebDriver relative browser, right? So for that reason, I am using here before shoot annotation. What does this before shoot annotation will do here? The method marked with before shoot annotation, okay, the method marked with before shoot annotation will be executed once before executing all the test cases present inside the suite. Okay, before executing all the classes, that is launching the application URL, launching the Gmail login, I mean entering the Gmail login credentials, after that before sending the email, before composing the email. So for the first prerequisite here is, precondition is, I need to launch my browser. So for that I am using here before shoot. Before shoot means the method marked with before shoot annotation, which will be executed once before executing all the test cases present inside the test suite. Okay, all the test case present inside the test suite. Okay, so let me create this before shoot. So what I will do here, I will just print here, okay, that is so statement of, okay, so statement of launching browser. Okay, launching browser I can mention. So once launching the browser, what I need to do, I have to clear all my cookies. Okay, once if I launch my browser, I want to clear all my cookies or delete all my cookies. So what we will do here, I will use before test. Okay, before test annotation I will use here. Okay, before test annotation. What is this before test annotation will do? The method marked with before test annotation will be executed once before executing the each test case present inside the test suite. Okay, so before executing my launching the application, before executing my login to the application, before executing my composing email test method, before executing my sending email test method. So before doing all these things, I want to delete my cookies. So for that I am using here before test annotation. This before test annotation, what it will do, this test before shoot will be executed once before executing each test case present inside our test suite. Okay, that is the purpose of before shoot. So before test. Okay, next, what is the line here? That is public void clear cookies. Okay, clear cookies. I want to delete all my cookies before going to execute all my test cases, right? So that's why SYSO of deleting cookies or clearing cookies I can mention, clearing cookies. Okay, clearing cookies. So next, after before test, what is our next process here? Okay, what is our next process? I want to launch my, which one? I want to launch my application, right? I want to launch my application. For that, what we will do, For that, what we will do, so here I need to use one method or annotation that is surrounded with at the rate. Okay, that is surrounded with at the rate before class, right? At the rate before class, I want to use it now. Okay, before class, at the rate before class, right? At the rate before class. So what is my next point here? That is public void launch my application, right? Launch application. Okay, after deleting the cookies, I am going to launch my application here, right? So sysO statement of, okay, sysO statement of, what I will do here, sysO statement of launching, okay, launching Gmail application, right? Launching Gmail application. So this is my next task. After launching the browser, after clearing the cookies, I am going to launch my URL, that is Gmail application. So what does this at the rate before class will do here? This at the rate before class annotation will be executed once before executing a TestNG class. Okay, before executing any TestNG class, this at the rate before class is going to be executed. So for that, this is my launch application method. Okay, that is before class. So once it is done, launch Gmail application, what I need to do next, what I have to do next, I have to, okay, I have to log in, right? After launching the application, I have to log in, right? So which method we can use here, which annotation we can use here? Okay, which annotation we can use here? That is Gmail login. Okay, that is Gmail login. So which will comes under at the rate before method. Okay, at the rate before method, saying that public void, okay, public void Gmail login. Okay, Gmail login, right? Gmail login. So let me maximize this. Okay, I don't know what's happening. We'll wait. Delete all events. Okay, there is something running backend. Okay, Gmail login. So what I will do here, that is public void Gmail login, sysO statement of Gmail login, sysO statement of Gmail login, right? So once it is done, after login to my application, I need to send an email, right? After login to my application, I have to send an email. So that method I will mark with at the rate test annotation. Okay, that method I will mark with at the rate test annotation, that is public void send email. Okay, send email is my method name. Okay, send email is my method name. So here what I will do, sysO statement of send email. Okay, send email. Okay, next, after sending an email, I want to take logout, right? After sending an email, I want to take logout. So how we will do? After method, okay, after completion of, okay, after completion of my actual steps, I need to take my logout, right? So that is called as at the rate after method. Okay, at the rate after method. Okay, at the rate after method, what I am going to write, public void, after sending email I am planning to take logout, public void logout. Okay, public void logout, that is sysO statement of Gmail logout. Okay, sysO statement of Gmail logout. Okay, control alt control shift O. Okay, if you want to import all the statements at a time, means the shortcut here is control shift O, then it will automatically import all the statements if you missed out anything. Okay, so then after taking the logout, what I need to do, I have to close my browser. So how we will do? With the help of at the rate after test. Okay, with the help of at the rate after test, I am going to do what? I am going to close my browser, right? Public void close browser. Okay, public void close browser. Okay, so here sysO statement of close browser. Okay, close browser. So this is my next annotation. After completion of, okay, after completion of logout, I am going to take my I'm going to close my browser. So once close the browser, I want to end the current session. Okay, I want to end the current session. So for that, after suit. Okay, after suit. So after suit. Okay, after suit annotation, that is public void. Okay, public void kill. Okay, kill WebDriver. I will take here as method name as kill WebDriver, and printing sysO statement of kill WebDriver. Okay, kill WebDriver. So now you can see here, the first thing what I did here, I am going to launching my browser with the help of before suit. Before going to perform any actions, first I need to launch my browser. That is the purpose why I am using here at the rate before suit annotation. Once I launch my browser, I am going to clearing the cookies or deleting the cookies with the help of before test annotation. Once that is done, I am going to launch my Gmail application, that is before class annotation. Once that is done, I am going to log into my Gmail, that is our before method annotation. Once log into Gmail, this is my actual test method which is surrounded with @test annotation. What is this @test annotation will do here? The method marked with, okay, the method marked with @test annotation are considered for the testing, and TestNG will produce results for @test marked method in terms of test or fail or pass or fail. Sorry, in terms of pass or fail, this @test method is going to be produce the results. So once that is done, I am going to take the logout. Once that is done, I am going to close my browser. Once it is also done, after completion of everything, I am going to killing my WebDriver session with the help of this after suit. Okay, now let me execute this program and we will see whether it is working fine or not. Okay, so it is working fine. So here first you can see, now you can get to know how the hierarchy is executing. Launching the browser. Okay, first @test method, where is that one? Okay, launching browser. Before going to perform any actions, I want to launch my browser, right? So that's why it is executing the before suit annotation. Then clear cookies, I want to clear my cookies once I launched the browser. So next, clearing the cookies. So once that is done, before test annotation, that is clearing the cookies. Once that is done, before class annotation will come into picture and it will launch my Gmail application. So before that, I am going to enter my credentials with the help of Gmail login page. So once that is done, it will going to send email. After that, I am going to take the logout. Once that is done, closing the browser. Okay, once that is done, closing the browser. Okay, so this is how we can work with this annotation, and this is the hierarchical representation of annotation. You can see after completion of suit execution, it is going to killing the WebDriver with the help of after suit annotation. Okay, again I will tell you what I did here. First, I am using one before suit annotation. What is this before suit annotation will do here? This before suit annotation will execute. Okay, this before suit annotation will executed once before executing all the test cases present inside the test suite, right? So once this is done, what is our next annotation? Before test. What is this before test method will do? Annotation will do this method marked with @test annotation, that is before test annotation will be executed once before executing each test case present inside the test suite. Before executing the remaining test methods, it is going to be execute first. Once it is done, what is our next one? @before class. Okay, @before class. What is this @before class will do here? So this @before class annotation method is going to be executed once before executing a TestNG class. Okay, after this, what is @before method here? Okay, what is @before method? The method which is configured with @before method will be executed once before executing each test method present inside the class. Before executing the remaining methods, it is going to execute. Here you can see we marked with @test here. Before executing this @test method, this before method is going to be executed first. Okay, once that is done, @test annotation. What is this @test annotation will do? Okay, what is this @test annotation will do? It is going to execute. Okay, the TestNG will consider first this @test method to be executing first. Based upon the execution, it will give you the result, whether the pass or failed status. And also, if any test method @test method is not working properly fine, means it will give you the results as fail without any exceptions or something. Okay, if there are any exceptions, it will give you the result as fail. If there are no exceptions, it will give you the results as pass. Once that is done, I am taking logout here. Okay, once that is done, I am taking a logout. Once that is done, I am going to close the browser. After that, I am going to kill my current WebDriver session. So this is how the annotation hierarchical looks like. Okay, you can see in the console also, it is also executing in the same way. Launching the browser, clearing the cookies, launching Gmail application, Gmail login, send email, Gmail logout, close browser. Finally, aftershoot will execute here. Okay, so next, what is our next concept here? How to skip test methods from the execution. So the next concept here is how to skip the test methods from the execution. How we can skip? So let me take one small example here. Okay, let me take one small example. So let me create one more class here, that is test. Okay, that is test methods skipping. Okay, test method skipping. It is also not having any, which one? It is also not having any public static void main method. So here @test method. Okay, @test annotation, public void. So here I will take test A. Okay, I will take test A here. So what I will do, sysO statement of this is test A. Okay, this is test A. What I am executing currently, this is test A. So before this, by defaultly every test method is enabled for test execution. That is, the default enable test method value is true. Okay, by defaultly each and every test method is enabled for execution, but now I want to skip the test method. So how we can do, we will see here. Okay, so this is my first method what I have created here, and then I am going to use one @test annotation method, saying that public void that is test B. Okay, test B. Then sysO statement of this is my test B. Okay, this is my test B. Okay, this is my test B. So now, so as we discussed, by defaultly all these test methods are enabled for true. Okay, so how we can mention, with the help of enabled. Okay, with the help of enabled equals to true. With the help of enabled equals to true, which means this method is also enabled for execution. Okay, by defaultly the enabled equals to true. If you are not mentioning also, it is going to be execute. By defaultly all the @test methods will be allowed for execution. If you don't want to execute, means you can keep it as false, which means we can skip the test method from the execution. In this way we can skip our test method from the execution. Okay, public void test C. Okay, public void test C, sysO statement of this is my test C. Okay, this is my test C. Okay, so now I am going to skip this particular test C. How we can mention, the help of enabled equals to which one? False. Enabled equals to false. If I want to skip this particular test method from the execution, means I can keep one keyword here, enabled equals to false. I mentioned a condition here. You can skip this method from the execution with the help of enabled equals to false. If I don't mention also enabled equals to true, by defaultly these two test methods will be ready for execution. Okay, let me remove this one as well. Okay, let me remove this one as well. Okay, now let me execute. This time this is my test C is not going to be execute because I am going to skip the method from the execution. Okay, so now let me execute. Here you can see it is skipped from the execution. Okay, this method is skipped from the execution, that is test C, it is not coming here. Okay, this is test A and this is test B, it is printing. Test C got skipped. So in this way we can skip from the execution any one of the @test method. So now what is our next one? Skipping a method from the execution by adding some skip exception. So now I am skipping this method from the execution, but I am not mentioning any exception here why it is skipping or why I am skipping. So if you want to mention any message here, means we can do with the help of, okay, with the help of skip exception. Okay, with the help of skip exception. So how we will do? So now we are skipping without having any skip exception. This time I am going to skip with the help of some exception I am going to mention here. So let me execute this now. It is going to execute all the three methods currently, test A and test B and test C. Because I have removed enabled equals to false, means it is not going to skip if I remove enabled equals to false. Okay, so now I want to skip this particular test C method with some skip message. Why I am skipping that particular message? So how we can do means, okay, so how we can do, with the help of throw, okay, with the help of throw new skip exception. Okay, there is skip exception. Okay, there is some skip exception message is there. So we need to mention the message, that is for some reason I don't want execute. I don't want to execute, for example. Okay, I don't want to execute for some reason. So how we will execute, we will see. Okay, so I am going to skip along with the exception. If I am skipping this method, means why I am skipping, so I need to mention some message here. So I am using one skip exception method, so where it is telling the skipped message, what is the reason you are skipping from the execution. So now let me execute this one and we will see. We will see here you can see skipped test C. Okay, skipped test C, this method got skipped now, and also we are getting some exception. For some reason I don't want to execute. Okay, in this way we can add one skip exception if you want to skip any method from the execution. This is the way we can skip this particular method from the execution. Okay, so now let me do it, okay, one more time. Okay, test D, or else I will comment from till to this line. Okay, this is the one way to skip your test execution. Import. Okay, so this is the one way to skip your method from the test execution, that is enabled equals to false. By defaultly all the test methods will be applicable for the execution. If you want to skip, means I can mention like enabled equals to false. And also if I want to skip a particular method along with some exception, means we can use one method here that is called as skip exception. Okay, one class that is called as skip exception. Okay, so in this way we can skip the methods in two different ways. One is without skip message, skip exception message, and the other one is here without with skip message and without skip message. In this way we can skip these methods from the execution. So now we will see the next concept here, TestNG assertions. So what is an assertion first of all? So here TestNG provided assert class. This assert class is providing the different methods such as assert equals, assert true, assert false. Okay, these methods we are using for validating the functionalities. Okay, here assert means we are comparing the given expected behavior with the given actual behavior. That is called as assertion, means validation. So TestNG provided one class that is called as assertions. Okay, that is called as assert. So with the help of this assert, we are going to use three different methods such as assert equals, assert true, and assert false. With the help of all these three assert methods, we are going to validate the functionalities. Okay, so now let me create one more new class, so where I will show you, okay, where I will show you how to use these assertions. Okay, that is TestNG assertions. Okay, that is TestNG assertions. Okay, so as I mentioned, there is a class that is called as assert, which is providing assert equals method, and also which is providing assert true method, and also it is providing assert false method. So these are the three different methods where we are going to use it for validations. These three methods provided by the assert class. This assert class is provided by the TestNG. TestNG provided assert class. This assert class providing the assert equals method, assert true method, assert false method to validate the functionalities. So first we will discuss about what is assert equals method here. Okay, first we will discuss assert equals method. What is assert equals method? So here it will compare the, okay, this assert equals method will compares the defined expected value with the actual value. When both are matched, it will produces results as pass. If otherwise, it will results as fail. Okay, if both are matching expected and expected and actual, then only it is going to produce a result as pass. If both are not matching, it will give you the result as fail. So now we will see with the help of one small program, that is, let me create one program method one called as public void Gmail validation. Okay, Gmail validation. Let me add this one, add this method, and this method marked with @test annotation. Okay, I have already have one okay, it is not there. So let me go to my folder, so where I have already created one small example for that one. Let me go to here, E drive, under E drive. So because this is one different workspace what I am using, before this workspace I have already one more workspace that is called as tutorials. So here inside this tutorials workspace I have Selenium tutorials class, so where I have written, okay, where I have written remaining tests, src test java tests. So let me take Gmail title validation class. Let me open with notepad. Okay, let me copy the same piece of code here. Okay, let me copy the same piece of code till here. Okay, till here I have already written this one. Let me copy and paste the same here as well. Okay, so that we can save our time. Import edge driver, import WebDriver, import assert class as well. Okay, so now import this assert equals assert equals y. It is giving error. Assert dot, what is the reason? Okay, 1 second, I have imported some wrong assert statement here, it seems. Okay, let me import TestNG assert here, so that this assert equals method will work properly fine, not an issue. So now what I am doing here with the help of assert equals, okay, I am taking two strings here. The first one here is expected title and actual title. Expected title is this one I am expecting from the UI, and then I am using one system.set property where I am defining my driver.exe file got located. Once that is done, I am opening Google application. So let me import this by as well. Okay, by.link text. I am going to click on some Gmail link which is present in the Google application. Once if I click, it will navigate to different page. From there I am going to capture the title and storing into actual title. Now I am comparing these two, means expected and actual. Okay, it will compare the expected value with actual title, actual value. When both are matched, it will return you the output as true. If it is not matching, means it will return you the false, means boolean values. The return type here is boolean. Okay, see here, if they are not an assertion, it is thrown. Okay, if these two are not matching, it will throw some error message. So now let me execute this program and we will see. So these are all the basic programs, guys, before going to teach you about the complete project of TestNG. So that's why I'm taking this particular video as part 01. So let me execute this one and we will see. Okay, it will launch our edge driver and it will open our Google application. Once it open, it is going to maximize the browser window. Once that is maximized, it is going to launch our Google application. Then it is going to click on Gmail link. Here you can see it clicked on Gmail link, and now it is going to capture the title of this particular page. Okay, then it is going to compare. Okay, now there is one failure here. So what is a failure? We will see. Actual and expected are not matching. Here you can see title of the page is Gmail. Okay, expected is Gmail, I have mentioned here, but what is the actual result? This is our actual result. So that's why if two are not matching, it will return you failed. Okay, saying that expected Gmail, but what is our actual test output there, title there, it is our actual title. This actual title is not matching the expected title what I have mentioned here. Okay, so let me delete this and paste the same. Okay, so now let me execute one more time. We will see whether this time it is matching or not. If two are matching, then only it will give you the result as pass, otherwise it will return you the false. That is the assert equals method. Now go back to your Eclipse. Again it is telling false. Why? Expected title equals to Gmail, and I am printing the title. Title of the page is actual title. Okay, title of the page is which one? Title of the page is actual title equal to driver.get title. Okay, what we are getting here? What is our actual title? Title of the page is Gmail. Okay, this is our actual title. So now let me change this one to only Gmail. Okay, so expected result is Gmail, but we are getting some different one. Okay, now let me execute. This time it will match. Okay, here you can see now these two titles are matching currently, saying that expected executed successfully and title of the page is Gmail. If I mention anything wrong now, and we will see the output here, expected title Gmails I can mention here, and we will see it now. It will give you the error now because Gmails is not the correct expected value compared to the actual value. Okay, it should be Gmail, but I mentioned here Gmails, so that's why it is going to be fail now. Okay, now got completed. So go to your console and you can see here expected Gmail but found Gmails. Okay, so that's the reason why it is failing here. It should be Gmail. Okay, assert equals of, see I mentioned here opposite. actual title with expected title. Okay, now we will get the proper output here. Come on guys, if you are new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and also please like this video. Please share all our videos to your friends or colleagues so that they will also learn the concepts what we are discussing currently. Please guys. Okay, so now go back to your Eclipse and you can see here it is telling the correct values. Okay, so in this way we can use this assert equals method to validate the actual and expected. So now we will discuss about assert true. Okay, assert true method we will discuss now. Sorry, okay, till from here to till here I am commenting. So now go back to our next method, that is called as assert true. So what is this assert true method will do? If the given condition returns true, it will provide test results as pass, otherwise it will return as false. Okay, if given, right, if given condition return, okay, returns true, it will produce test result as pass, otherwise fail. Okay, otherwise fail. If the given condition is returning true, then only it is going to produce a test result as pass, otherwise it will return you the test results as fail, right? So now let me create one more method, that is @test public void. Okay, public void, this is for example test assert true. Okay, test assert true method is my method name. Once that is done, I am going to use some small basic things only, that is assert dot assert true of true, assert dot assert true of true. Okay, so again I am using here one more method, @test. Okay, @test public void test assert, okay, assert true 2. Okay, assert true 2, this is my second method name. So why I am taking here u means by defaultly all the TestNG methods will work in execute in a alphabetical order way, so that's why I am taking here starting word as u. Okay, without mentioning any priority values I am executing currently. Then assert dot assert true of false. If I mention false here, my method is going to be fail now, because the condition is not the correct one here what I mentioned here. Okay, now let me execute and we will see. Okay, here you can see console, expected true but found false, means the given condition return true, it will produce result as pass, otherwise it will fail. But the condition what we have mentioned, we have passed the value as false, so that's why the test2 method is failing. If you go to results of running suite, you can find the same result here. Result test assert true method got pass, used assert true got failed, because expecting true but found false, I have passed here the false, means the given condition true, then only it will give you the condition result as pass, otherwise it will return you the fail. So now let me execute, it will give you same as pass only. Okay, so this time both are getting passed, test assert true and UEST assert true 2 method. Okay, in this way this will work, that assert true method. So now also again I will show you one more example here. Okay, I will show you one more example. So let me comment from here to this and till here. Again the same example for Gmail I am going to take. So that is @test method public void public void, that is my first test. Okay, public void first test, public void first test. Okay, public void first test. Now here I will take the same WebDriver driver equals to the same lines I am going to take here. Okay, after that this one till here and till here I will copy and paste it here. Okay, so now, so here I am going to modify some changes here, that is assert dot, okay, assert dot assert true of, assert dot assert true of, assert dot assert true of driver dot find element. Okay, now dot assert true of dot is displayed. Okay, is displayed I am taking here. Okay, if the link text of Gmail is displayed, then it will return you true. If some part of the XPath is failed, means it is not going to give you the result as pass. So let me execute. Okay, so now you can see here that Gmail link. Okay, whatever the Gmail I have passed, right, that is not the correct one. Okay, no such element exception, you will get the same error here. Means the given condition is false, means the XPath is not present there, so that's why we are getting this one. So if I do Control Z, it will give you the result as pass only. This is about assert true method, which is, what is assert true method here? If the given condition is returning true, then the TestNG will produce the result as pass. If the given condition is false, then the TestNG will produce the result as fail. Okay, now go to your TestNG and you can see here the console part, it is telling first test passed, and go to your result, it is telling, because that Gmail link whatever I have passed here, that is present, means it is got displayed. So that's why we are getting it as pass. So now let me take example for assert fail method. Assert dot assert fail, right? Assert dot assert fail. Let me copy this method. It is also like the same assert true method only, but we are changing here to false, assert false. Okay, assert false I am changing here. So here assert false of false, assert false of false, then assert false of true. If I mention assert false of true, it is going to be fail now. Okay, means if the given condition returns false, then only it is going to produce result as pass, otherwise it will return as fail. Okay, if the given condition is false, then only it will give you the result as pass, otherwise it will give you the result as fail. So here the first one it will give you the pass, the second one it will give you fail, because the given condition is false, but I have mentioned here as true, so that's why it is going to fail the second method here. So now let me execute. Okay, here you can see the second method is failing because it is expecting false only. The given condition is returning false, it will produce the test result as pass, otherwise it will return you the test result as fail. So this is how these three methods will work when we are validating the functionalities. Okay, that is assert class is a class which is providing three methods, that is assert equals, assert true and assert false. Okay, this is how we can work with the assertions. So now what I will do, so as of now we have discussed here, right? So now let me use some priorities here. Okay, now let me use some priorities here. So I will use the same only. Okay, this is my first method, and at the rate test assert false, and here also I will take test assert to true, used assert to true. Okay, let me change test assert false, false to. I'm going to use priorities here. Okay, false to. Now let me execute this one as well. Okay, now let me execute the above things as well. Okay, now let me execute the above assert equals method as well. So now what I am doing, I am mentioning the priorities, because by default TestNG will execute all the @test methods in alphabetical order. If that is the case, okay, if that is the case, F will execute first, and then test assert false is going to be the next. After that it is going to execute this false 2, then it is going to execute true, and then it is going to execute this one. Means it is not following the execution order. By default TestNG will execute all the test methods in a alphabetical order or in a sequential order. If I want to execute all my test methods as per my requirements, means we are going to use some concept called as priority. We need to prioritize our methods, which needs to be executed first, which needs to be executed next. So that's the reason why we are going to use one priority concept here, that is priority equals to 0 or priority equals to 1. Based upon your, you can execute. Okay, here I am mentioning priority 2. Okay, here I am mentioning priority 2. So after that I am going to mention for this one priority 1. Okay, priority 1. Once that is done, this is my priority 3, that is priority 3, and the last one is for priority 4. Okay, last one is for priority 4, and then priority 5, right, priority 5. So I am going to execute as per my requirements, which method needs to be executed first, which method needs to be executed next. So we can achieve with the help of priorities. So now this method, what it will execute first, it will execute Gmail validation. After that it will execute which method? It is going to execute the next method, that is the marked with priority 1. Okay, now let me go to here. It is going to execute my first test method next. Okay, we will see it now. See, this is going to execute first priority equals to 1, then it is going to execute test assert to true. What happened? Still these are executing or what? Okay, here we can see it has already executed. Okay, it has already executed, saying that what is our first priority, what we defined, Gmail validation. Okay, Gmail validation is executed first, that is priority equals to 0. After that, what is our next one, which method executed, that is test assert to true, where it is test assert to true. Why test assert to true, test assert false, first test UST false, UST. Okay, so likewise we can control the program execution order with the help of priorities. Okay, you can mention the priority 1, priority 2, priority 3, priority 4, priority 5. Based upon your requirements, you can execute all your test methods in a priority wise. So now I am going to discuss about TestNG.xml file concept. So here, as you can see, so far we discussed about so many classes here. So where we discussed about annotations hierarchy, test method skipping, and TestNG assertions. So these are all the 3 different classes, right? So now I want to use one concept. I want to execute all these 3 classes at suit level. How we can execute means, so for that, let me right click on here. You can see TestNG, convert to TestNG. Okay, convert to TestNG and click on finish. So then you will get automatically one TestNG.xml file here. Okay, go to here source code. Here you can see it will automatically give you the. So now I am not going to mention any thread counts here. Test name equals to what is my test name? TestNG basics. Okay, TestNG basics. So this is my all my classes got added into one suite level, right? One suite. You can see here suite name, test name, classes tag name, class name. So automatically if I convert to TestNG.xml file, means all my classes added into this particular .xml file. If I mean we can run all these classes at a suite level only, just clicking on the run button. Okay, this is how we can execute all our test cases at suite level. We can add how many number of test cases you can have. We can add all those as classes inside this particular TestNG.xml file. This is the suite level, means it will generate some TestNG.xml file with the selected test cases in a default format. Okay, so we can execute all these test cases at suite level, that is called as batch execution. In this way we have to convert. So how to execute? Okay, if I want to mention, if I don't want to mention the priorities here, so how we can mention, means we can use one tag here. Okay, we can use one tag here, that is called as include name equals to what is the method name. Okay, what is the method name? So in that way, if you don't want to use priorities, means we can use in that way by creating one methods tag name. Inside that methods tag name we can configure all our method names. Okay, we can configure all our method names. Okay, so let me add all the test methods into this particular, which one, particular class. If I don't mention any method names here, means it will execute with the help of priorities, but I don't want to mention any priorities for my class or for my methods. So whatever the methods present here, right, I don't want to mention the priorities here. So how we can execute? We can define all the methods here. Okay, so for that let me go to our TestNG assertions class. So let me remove these priorities here. Okay, if I am not mentioning priorities, means it is going to execute by defaultly in a alphabetical order, but I don't want to mention my priorities, but I want to execute my test methods as sequential level. So how we can mention, means with the help of method names. So how we can mention method names, I will show you now. Okay, why I am removing this priorities, means if you are executing only one test case, during that time if you want to execute all your test methods as per your requirements, means you can execute with the help of priorities. If you don't mention priorities, if you are executing one single class, means it will consider by defaultly in an alphabetical order execution only. Whereas if I am executing multiple classes at suite level, means I am going to mention my method names inside this particular TestNG.xml file. At the same time I have removed all my priorities where I have mentioned priority levels. Okay, so now we will see how we can define. Okay, so now let me which one it is, TestNG assertions, right? So for this class I am going to add one tag name, that is called as methods. Okay, that is called as methods. Methods is a tag name where we can define our test method names. That is, what is my method name here? Go to TestNG assertions class and take your first method name, that is Gmail validation, and add it to here. Okay, so this is one method, and in the same way we can add for different remaining methods as well present inside the same class, that is called as TestNG assertions. Okay, so go to your TestNG assertions. What is our next method? That is test assert to true. Okay, that is test assert to true. Okay, what is our next method here? ust assert to true 2. Okay, then first test. This is how in real time also projects are following. If they are not mentioning any priorities, that too if they want to execute as per their requirements, means they will just create one TestNG.xml file. Under that they will add all the classes at suite level. After that they will mention all the test methods with the help of a tag name, that is called as methods tag name followed by include name equals to. Okay, now close this method. Okay, so now once it is done, let me close the class as well. Here I am just showing for one. Okay, here you can see it got closed here. So what I did so far, I don't want to mention my priorities if I am working with suite level execution. So during that time I will just use one line called as methods tag name followed by include name equals to what is a method name. So in this way we can execute all our test methods as per our requirements. If you don't mention these things, means by default TestNG will execute all the test methods in alphabetical order, but I don't want to execute in such a way. Okay, so now here also we don't have any priorities, right? So for this class also I want to execute, like first I want to execute test A, then I want to execute test C, then I want to execute test B. We will see. Okay, so now simple, go to that particular test method skipping class. Okay, let me copy skipping class and go to here, paste this, remove the closing of class tag name and go to here and add one more tag name closing of this one. Okay, so now what is our first method here under test method skipping? This is my test A, test B, test C. So now this time I want to add it like test C I want to execute first. Okay, test C I want to execute. Okay, after that next one is test B. Once that is done, test A. So now I am not executing in alphabetical order way. First I am executing test C, test B, test A. If you are working at suite level, means we need to add all our method names in this way: test C, test B, test B as per your requirements. So now let me execute and we will see whether it is working fine or not. Okay, first it is going to execute our which one? TestNG assertions or TestNG hierarchy, I don't know. We will see. Because that is not executing in a parallel. Okay, it will execute in a sequential order only. Okay, it got completed. Okay, here you can see the execution got completed. If you go to your results of running suite, first class it executed TestNG assertions where it is having one failure. After that it got executed methods skipping. Here you can see for some reason I don't want to execute. This is for skipping one test method. After that test annotation hierarchy, send email. Okay, go to test annotation hierarchy. You can see it will print accordingly inside our console like how we saw previously, right? So in this way we can execute all the test cases at suite level with the concept of TestNG.xml file. Okay, so next one here is parallelly how we can execute all the test cases. Here you can see, so how to execute the test cases present inside a TestNG.xml file in a parallel. Okay, so what I will do here, just go to your TestNG.xml file. You can see when we are running our test suite, by defaultly the test cases present inside the suite level are executed one after another. Okay, first it will execute this one, then it will execute this one, then it will execute this one, means sequential way. Okay, that is a default parallel keyword is none or false. Okay, if you don't mention parallel equals to none, if you don't mention parallel equals to false, means by defaultly all the test cases present inside this TestNG.xml file will execute in sequential order way. If I want to execute all my test cases in parallel way, means we can define it like parallel equals to tests, so that all the tests will execute in a different way, that is parallel way. Means if I want to run all the test cases parallelly, that is simultaneously, we have to configure one keyword at suit level, that is called as parallel equals to tests. Okay, parallel equals to tests. So if I mention like this, these test cases are not going to work in a execute in a sequential order way. It is going to execute in a parallel way. Now if I don't want to mention, okay, if I don't want to mention, if I don't want to execute in a parallel mode, means you can mention here none, or you can mention here false. Even if you don't mention also, this TestNG is going to be execute all our test cases in sequential way only. Okay, by defaultly all the classes which are present in TestNG.xml file will execute in sequential way only. Even though if you want to execute all our TestNG test cases in sequential way also, we can keep here one keyword called as parallel equals to false or parallel equals to none. If you do like this, all our test methods will execute, all our test cases will execute in sequential way. If you don't mention also, by default TestNG will execute all our test cases or classes in a sequential mode only. If you want to execute your test cases in parallel mode, means we can define one keyword that is called as parallel equals to tests. Parallel equals to tests. Okay, parallel equals to tests. Okay, parallel equals to tests, and we will see it now. This time these classes are not going to be executed in a sequential way. It will execute in parallel way, means randomly it will execute. Okay, again it is launching one more time. Okay, then go to console. Okay, now you can see the console part. Okay, now let me copy this one. Let me copy and paste it into somewhere. Okay, this execution with the help of parallel equals to tests. If I don't mention this parallel equals to tests, means we will see how the execution will execute. By defaultly, if you don't mention this parallel equals to test, means it will execute in a sequential way only. We will see the console output and we will compare without providing parallel how the test methods got executed, which is in sequential way. After providing parallel equals to test, how the execution will be executed, we will see. We will compare the console output, so that we will get the final outcome of parallel concept here. Okay, think it's got completed. Now go to your console. Now we will see whether it is executing in parallel or not. Let me paste it here. Okay, so if we are passing parallel equals to tests, means it is going to execute all our test cases in simultaneously. If you are not providing parallel equals to tests, means it is going to execute all our test cases in sequential way. Okay, so that is about parallel concept inside our TestNG. Okay, here you can see title of page is Gmail, this is my test B, this is my test A. So likewise we can use this parallel equals to tests, or parallel equals to none, or parallel equals to something. What I did not mention here, right? Okay, 1 second. Let me add here parallel equals to tests. Parallel equals to tests. So now we will see the output. Previously we did not mention the parallel equals to tests, so that's why it is executing in a sequential way. So this time we will see how it will execute if we provided parallel equals to tests means. Okay, again it is launching one more time. Okay, maximize. Okay, completed. Yeah. Okay, in this way we can execute with the help of parallel equals to tests, which means it will execute simultaneously. Okay, but you are finding the same order because we are printing all the statements inside our console, right? So that's the reason why you are not getting some difference between without parallel and with parallel when we are printing in the console output. Okay, let me compare then. This is my test B, this is test A, Gmail application, Gmail login, send email, Gmail logout, college bar, kill web player. Okay, no problem. If whenever you are running a test suite, by defaultly the test cases present inside the TestNG.xml file will work or will execute in a sequential order way. If you are not mentioning, if you want to execute all your tests, okay, all your tests in a parallel mode means you can configure one keyword that is equals to parallel equals to tests. Okay, so that's all it for now. We will take part 02 in our upcoming video, so where I'm going to discuss about the complete end-to-end flow of TestNG framework, how it will look. So why I have conducted this particular part 1 means so that at least you will get some basic knowledge about what are the different types of annotations and what are the different assertions and what are the features of TestNG and what is parallel equals to test and what is a priority and without priority how we can execute our test cases. Okay, so thank you so much guys. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please drop a like and also please subscribe to my channel Selenium Tech Automation if you are new to here. We will continue with part 02 where I am going to discuss about the complete project framework structure of TestNG. Okay, thank you so much guys. Thank you.